Kodak captured America's soul. 80% of your family photos, from weddings to vacations, lived on their film. They were a billion-dollar giant, Rochester's pride. Then, in 2012, they went bankrupt, a titan brought to its knees. How did Kodak, the king of photography, lose everything? And how did they claw back to life by 2023, pulling in $1.1 billion? In this video uncovers Kodak's genius, mistakes, and rebirth, from 1888's revolutionary camera to the digital disaster that changed photography forever. Join us for an epic journey through innovation and ambition. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's dive into Kodak's untold story. In 1877, Rochester, New York was a bustling industrial hub, home to breweries and shoe factories. Enter George Eastman, a 24-year-old bank clerk earning $15 a week. He planned a Caribbean vacation but was stunned by photography's complexity. Cameras required glass plates coated with chemicals, a tripod, and a portable darkroom. "It's a lab, not a hobby," Eastman complained. He spent nights studying chemistry, determined to simplify it. By 1880, his Eastman Dry Plate Company sold pre-coated glass plates, freeing photographers from mixing chemicals. But plates were clunky. One photo, one plate. Eastman dreamed bigger, a flexible film for multiple shots. In 1888, he launched the Kodak camera, a $25 leather box with roll film for 100 photos. "You press the button, we do the rest," the slogan promised. Customers mailed the camera to Kodak, who developed the film for $10 and returned prints. It was a sensation, making photography accessible. By 1890, Kodak sold 10,000 cameras, and Rochester buzzed with factory jobs. Eastman's philosophy was democratic. Photography is for everyone. His 1889 roll film, made of celluloid, replaced fragile glass. By 1900, the $1 Brownie camera, a cardboard box with a lens, put photography in kids' hands. Families snapped birthdays, travelers captured Niagara Falls. Kodak's Rochester plant grew, employing 5,000 by 1905. Eastman built schools and parks, making Kodak Rochester's heartbeat. His patents on film and cameras crushed competitors, setting the stage for a monopoly. By the 1920s, Kodak was America's darling. Its factories churned out film for Hollywood's silent films and family albums. In 1935, Kodachrome, the first color film, revolutionized photography. With red, green, and blue layers, it captured vibrant sunsets and 4th of July parades. National Geographic adopted it. MGM shot musicals on it. A 1936 ad boasted, "See the world in Kodak color." By 1950, Kodak employed 30,000 in Rochester, with $2 billion in revenue, $2025. The 1963 Instamatic camera, with its drop-in film cartridge, sold 50 million units by 1970, making photography foolproof. Kodak's Kodak Moments campaign, launched in the 1950s, turned emotional milestones, graduations, first steps, into cultural rituals. A 1960s ad showed a dad snapping his daughter's prom night, "Save it with Kodak." By 1976, Kodak dominated, holding 75% of the U.S. camera market and 80% of film, generating $16 billion, $2025. Its 60,000 employees enjoyed pensions and picnics. Rochester's skyline, Kodak Tower, symbolized invincibility. But beneath the success, cracks were forming. Patents kept rivals at bay, but innovation slowed. Kodak assumed film would reign forever. In 1975, a Kodak engineer, Steve Sasson, changed history. At 25, he built the first digital camera, a toaster-sized device with 0.01 megapixel resolution. It stored images on a cassette tape, taking 23 seconds per shot. Sasson pitched it to executives. This could replace film. They laughed. Film earned 70% margins. Processing and printing were cash cows. Digital meant no film sales, no darkroom fees. A 1976 memo warned, "Digital is a toy, not a threat." Kodak invested in digital, spending $500 million by 1990, but prioritized film, believing its quality, up to 20 megapixels equivalent, outshone digital's 1 megapixel cameras. By the 1980s, Japan's Canon and Sony saw the future. Their digital cameras offered instant previews, no processing costs. Consumers loved it. Kodak countered with the 1996 Advantix, a film-digital hybrid requiring processing. It flopped. A 1995 employee report noted, "We're losing hobbyists to digital." Sales held steady, $16 billion in 1996, but warning signs grew. Kodak's Rochester labs developed digital sensors, but executives delayed, fearing job cuts. The world was shifting and Kodak was blind. By 2000, digital cameras exploded. Sony's Mavica and Canon's PowerShot sold millions. Kodak's film sales dropped 5% by 2005, 9.6% by 2007. Revenue fell to $7 billion by 2010. Employees suffered most. Mary, a 30-year Kodak veteran, recalled, "We had pensions, bonuses, then nothing." Layoffs hit Rochester's economy. Stores shuttered, homes foreclosed. Kodak's stock, $90 in 1997, fell to $10 by 2010. In 2011, it sold 100 digital patents for $525 million, far less than the $2 billion hoped. Cash dried up, suppliers went unpaid. By 2012, Kodak faced a brutal truth. It couldn't pay $3 billion in debts. Rochester held its breath as Kodak prepared for the unthinkable. On January 19, 2012, Kodak filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in New York. Chapter 11, part of U.S. bankruptcy code, allowed restructuring. Creditors couldn't seize assets while Kodak sold units and cut costs. It owed $3 billion, including $700 million in pensions. A 2012 press release stated, "Will emerge leaner." Kodak sold its camera and film divisions, ending its consumer legacy. Rochester reeled, 5,000 more jobs gone. A local diner owner said, "No Kodak, no customers." Kodak's bankruptcy wasn't just financial, it was cultural. Families lost photo archives when Kodak Gallery closed. A 2012 article noted, "Kodak moments are now memories." The company shed 90% of its workforce, down to 7,000 globally. Yet hope lingered. Kodak kept its commercial printing and chemical units, betting on niche markets. A 2013 plan outlined debt repayment and new products. Rochester watched, praying for a miracle. Kodak emerged from bankruptcy in September 2013, debt slashed to $500 million. It pivoted to commercial printing and chemicals, leveraging film expertise. The 2014 Prosper 5000 press printed 650 feet per minute, serving packaging, think shampoo bottle labels, and books. In chemicals, Kodak supplied pharmaceutical firms with materials for antibiotics and painkillers. Its Eastman business park in Rochester became a hub, producing 500 chemicals. By 2015, Kodak employed 4,000, a fraction of its peak but stable. Revenue hit $1.8 billion by 2017. The industry had changed. Smartphones with 12-megapixel cameras by 2015 killed point-and-shoots. Apple and Samsung dominated. Canon and Nikon focused on pro gear. Kodak's niche strategy worked. Its 2018 Sonora plates cut printing costs 20%. A 2019 employee said, "We're not sexy, but we're alive." Rochester adapted, with startups filling old Kodak buildings. The city's university trained printers, not photographers. Kodak's legacy lived in its patents, licensed to Sony and others, earning $100 million yearly. By 2023, Kodak was a new beast. Its Prosper Ultra 520 press printed 9 million A4 pages monthly, serving publishers and brands. In chemicals, Kodak supplied 30% of U.S. antibiotic materials, per a 2023 report. Revenue reached $1.1 billion, with $200 million operating income, debt-free. Kodak's comeback wasn't glamorous. Photography was gone, but its printing tech led markets. A 2024 trade show demo showed the Prosper press printing 650 feet of labels in a minute. Chemical sales grew 15%, driven by pharma demand. Rochester stabilized, new cafes opened, and Kodak sponsored art fairs. The company's 2025 plan: AI-driven printing and sustainable chemicals. Kodak wasn't king, but it was a survivor, proving resilience in a digital age. Kodak's story is a masterclass in innovation and hubris. From George Eastman's 1888 camera to Kodachrome's colors, it made photography universal. Its 1975 digital camera could have changed history, but fear of change, 70% film margins, blinded it. The 2012 bankruptcy crushed Rochester, but Kodak's 2023 revival, with $1.1 billion in printing and chemicals, shows adaptability. What's the takeaway? Innovate boldly, or fade away. Clinging to the past kills giants. Kodak's legacy lives in every smartphone camera, built on its patents, and in Rochester's grit. Today, Kodak employs 4,000, a shadow of its 60,000 peak, but it's debt-free and growing. Its Prosper presses and chemical labs quietly power industries. Rochester, scarred but healing, honors Eastman with museums and startups. Dear viewers, what did Kodak's journey teach you? Comment below. Give us a thumbs up, share with friends, and subscribe with notifications for more deep dives. Thanks for watching.